Oh, oh, oh. Who are, who are you? Now, that is pretty much the best impersonation that I could give of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, right, I was pulled in a middle lane, proceeding to go onto a highway. So this happened in Tennessee, near Memphis, Tennessee at that. And it was like construction going on. And it was a guy, I think he had maybe like a Honda Accord or something like that. And the light had turned green to where it was time for everybody to go. So he was in front of me, but he wasn't moving. So my reaction was, honk, honk, move. So every time that a driver does something that's kind of off the wall like that, after he didn't move, I signaled, got to the right lane, and proceeded to go around him. But when I go around anybody, the habit that I have is I look in their vehicle, or I look in the car or in the truck to see what type of person it was, to see, why maybe I can kind of judge why they might have did what they did. So obviously at this point, I'm in the right lane about to go around them, but I'm only going about probably like 5 miles an hour. So I'm able to get a good look because he was on my left side at that moment. So I'm able to get a good look. And as I look, as y'all seen in the beginning clip, this guy was like this. And going that slow, I was able to view the whole situation as it was. So in my peripherals, or in just the viewing of this situation, this guy was slumped over. Other cars were just going around him. Some looked at it and didn't care and kept going, to where I said, dang, should I keep going? Maybe he'll wake up. But my conscience, because I do have a conscience, said, nah, man, something might be wrong. He might be dead. He might have passed out. And it ain't no telling. So I actually stopped my truck from going at 5 miles per hour. And I proceeded to get out my truck. And once I got out my truck, I kind of sprinted to his car that was on the left side of me. And I walked around to his car where he was slumped over. And it's weird how everything worked out. Obviously, it must be God working again, because for some reason the guy had his driver's side window halfway cracked. And I'm surprised. I'm really shocked at how the situation went down, because the way it went down, it was good for him. He had his window halfway cracked, and he was slumped over on the wheel, but the car was still in drive, and he still had his foot on the pedal. I don't know how, if he was out of it. So by the window being, reason why I say it's good he had the window cracked, because I was able to reach in and kind of tap him like, hey man, trying to see, are you alive? So I had to shake him a couple times. He didn't just like pop up right after I had to shake him probably like almost for a minute. And when I was, shaking him, obviously you shake somebody, you feel their body, and his body felt kind of cold and hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. And after shaking him for a while, I ain't gonna say he perked up, but he got up and he was like, oh, okay. And then drove off. I'm like, and when I looked at him, like I said, from the smell, from the feel of his body, and I'm from Baltimore, so I know a druggie when I see one. He looked like he was a user of some sort. So I don't know what to say that he was on, but it was something. Maybe he had too much that day, and it kind of knocked him out behind the steering wheel. I'm praying that he wasn't ODing behind the steering wheel, and maybe God was giving him another chance, through a good Samaritans, through me to, kind of shake him out of that overdose. So yeah, man, when I shook him for a couple minutes, he perked back up, and he just, like I said, the car was already in drive, and so I don't know how he managed to keep his foot on the brake, but he just pulled off. Ain't even say thank you or nothing, but I don't care. I'm just glad that he wasn't dead, because that was the first time I ever seen somebody slumped over like that. Like, usually if you see a slumped over person, slumped over, especially in Baltimore, slumped over means you did. Somebody that murdered you, you died, something happened where you're not living anymore. So like I said, I feel like the blessing in that situation is the fact that even though that car was in drive, his foot maintained on the brake. First of all, not to run into the person that was in front of him, and second of all, for him not to hurt somebody else or himself. And weirdly, the window was down so that I could shake him, because if his window wasn't down, I don't know if I could have made contact with his body to, you know, snap him out of whatever it was that had him slumped over like that. So I guess the message in this video is, you know, a lot of times we see cars that's sitting still for whatever reason, or sometimes we might see a person broke down, and you don't want to stop just like that for any and everybody. But get in the habit of when you ride past the car, look in it to see if it's somebody that may be in need of assistance as far as help, because you might could save a life. It might be a woman with kids that maybe she having a stroke. It could be a grandfather that's like 80 years old and he might have had a heart attack, and you could have helped him get to the hospital within that hour to save his life. So it's nothing more rewarding than to know that you possibly saved somebody's life, or you did save somebody's life, and now mom has still got, the kids still got their mother, and people at home still got their grandpa, or, you know, it's, you know, save a life. So I know in this world today, most people will see people getting beat up, or they can see people actually dying, and instead of helping, the first thing they'll do is pull out a recording device and record it instead of helping. But in this situation, I helped. I wish I would have pulled my phone out to record it, but everything is not always meant to pull your phone out for recording. So all I can do is just reiterate in verbiage and verbal just to tell y'all the story. So, all right, guys, you know, love your fellow brother if you can, and it's not a dangerous situation, even though sometimes you take a gamble because nobody never knows when a situation can become dangerous. But, you know, help people. Don't just sit there and watch their life slip away if you're in a position that you can save a life. So, time is the essence. Let's make better time of it. Let's love each other, not judge each other, because I never judge y'all. And stay tuned, guys, because I'm going to do a phone call to my pops, man. And if y'all want to, if y'all think that I'm funny, y'all don't know where I got the wild, crazy side from. My pops, man, that's my homie. That's my best friend. Like, y'all gonna really trip on him. Like, he's a comedian for sure. He kind of like a Richard Pryor to me, if you ask me. He don't care what he say. Y'all think I ain't got no filter. My pops definitely ain't got no filter. So stay tuned, guys. And oh yeah, like I said, I've been reviewing my analytics, and like I said, if you don't realize that you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. I'm going to put my Patreon account in the description eventually when I get time. So that way sometimes, you know, when I want to go from YouTube and do on other platforms like Patreon, I'll let you guys know when I'm airing on other platforms instead of just YouTube. And for anybody that don't mind to support my channel, if my content is helping you, by all means, you know, a sister could use a little bit extra to kind of get the channel going a little bit better so that I can give you guys better content. Because as y'all see, some of my videos be trash, but I be trying though. I just be trying to pump out the content for you guys. So everything I do is for y'all. So, alright y'all, I love y'all. So don't be stingy with kindness. Kindness, love is free. It doesn't cost anything to save a life or to love somebody or to help somebody. Just have a heart, man. All right.